Hello and welcome to Decoding the New Economy. Today I'm joined by Thorsten Sauer, the Vice President of Broadcast Services for Ericsson. Thank you very much for joining us, Thorsten.
Thank you, Paul.
Now, first of all, let's kick off with your role. Broadcast services isn't something that comes to mind immediately when we're talking about Ericsson. We think more about telco vendors. What do you do with Ericsson?
I think, in Ericsson, we have seen for a long time, the importance of video for our business. A lot of what we do today, a lot of networks we deploy today, they are transporting video. So I think that is becoming increasingly important for us. And I think actually for quite a while we've understood this importance and have basically exposed ourselves much more to media. Both on the product technology side as well as on the services side. So back in 2007, it was the first customer whose operation we took over. The responsibility for providing all the services from the ingest point to the distribution. And that is a business that has been growing since, and obviously also helps through the acquisitions we've made back in 2012 as well as this year with Red Bee Media.
So tell me more about Red Bee Media.
Red Bee is probably one of the leaders in the industry when it comes to a very broad portfolio of services that they provide to media companies in many different countries. I think it starts off from playout and media management, i.e. the manipulation of media for different platforms, the playout, then the distribution, the origination of that information. Access services, making this content accessible to people which are visually or impaired or deaf.
Right.
Metadata, making the contextual information available on different platforms so that you know what is it that you would like to see, that you can search it, find the right content for you, and then also promotional and campaigns for different content. So I think with that, with the combination of Ericsson and Red Bee Media now, we are the leader, probably the largest independent originator of channels with more than 330 channels that we play out from our facilities. We are probably also the most complete service provider in the industry.
Yes. Yeah. So with that, it's interesting to say about the different platforms there. So how do you see those different platforms evolving?
I think over the years, and I think we do a regular study on a global level, trying to understand user behavior. And I think what we have seen over the past couple of years, an increasing trend of the consumption of video, on different platforms. And those are increasingly mobile platforms. Could be tablet devices, could be smartphones, but it is the usage of video and the consumption of video in different contexts at different times. So I think the user decides basically when they want to watch it, where they want to watch it, and what they want to watch. So I think that is an increasing trend that we see, and technology really helps to make that happen. And I think we are one of the drivers behind that technology.
Right. So what sort of challenges do you see for broadcasters with this multi-screen environment?
I think broadcasters are obviously a very strong, audience feel. They understand really well, the schedule of the programming.
Yeah.
They are very established brands, and obviously they have now the opportunity to deliver their brand promise to their customers on many different platforms.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity, I think, for broadcasters to address, the audiences, address new revenue streams, on different devices, and keep their audience, loyal to them on different occasions.
Yeah. So with Red Bee, it seems to me that you're moving as much into services as you are in hardware. Is that part of the drive?
Absolutely. I think when you look at Ericsson, Ericsson today is close to 50% of our business is services already today. And I think equally so, we look at media as a great service opportunity. We talked about the consumer behavior and how that is changing. That represents a huge transformation in the industry. And I think we want to be a catalyst for this transformation through providing the right services, through new service models, through new business models, managed service models. So that is a drive.
Yeah. Now, looking at broadcast services, you're strongly concentrated in Europe and not so much in the Americas and East Asia. How do you see the different markets evolving?
Ericsson is a global company. We are represented in 180 countries. Our ambition for this business is to be equally global.
Yeah.
That is a journey that we are starting now. And I think it's great to be in Australia.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're seeing evolve is that the barriers are breaking down to entry now. Broadcast is a little bit different with the traditional terrestrial broadcast licenses and that. Do you see more people coming in now that it's easier to set up IP-based video channels?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we will see new entrants into the market. I think ultimately entertainment, I mean, the consumption of video, I mean, is basically for entertainment purposes, for news, for information purposes. That is a very strong need, and I think there will be a lot of opportunities for a lot of new players. And I think that will create a healthy, I mean, innovation race. I mean, who is delivering the best experience on different devices, on different platforms. So I think it's a very exciting time, I mean, to be in that industry.
Well, what do you personally find most exciting?
I think to basically personalize your TV experience, I think is a great opportunity. I think depending on what you want to watch it, how you want to watch it, it will be much easier to find content that you like, to discover a content that you maybe have not, where you were not aware of, and I mean to find that. I think it's really the personalized TV experience. I think is a fantastic vision for the future.
Yeah. So we're seeing that video is becoming more and more part of business and part of the internet, of course. What's your advice to businesses that haven't been traditionally in broadcast but are looking at moving into video distribution? What would you say to them as their big challenge?
As we said, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, I think with what we can provide from a technology, all from a service point of view, I mean, allows people to experiment a little bit more. And I think that it's now the time. I mean, I think business models are not all set.
Sure.
I mean, technology choices are not all set. I think working together with Ericsson, for instance, I mean, can provide you the opportunity to explore new ways, I mean, new revenue models, and that's basically what we're here for.
Yeah. So with these new platforms that are developing, we're seeing wearables at the moment like Google Glass and so on. Do you see those as being part of that those channels down the track?
I think there will be many different platforms. I mean, and I think that the future will tell what the right platforms is, what will be the ones that will be really successful. Ultimately, I believe, I mean, in a very good and integrated consumer experience. I think it's important for the consumer that it's easy for them to access content. It is in this, I mean, content abundance that we in that world that we're living. I think it will be extremely important that, I mean, we can help and guide consumers to find the content that they want, to make it easy for them to have a great TV experience.
So with the abundance there that you mentioned, the importance of that is of course putting things into context, and with your metadata that you mentioned with Red B, so that's one of the big thrusts that you see there, getting that metadata right so that you're able to provide that context.
Absolutely. I think today it's extremely important. I mean, you have many more choices, you have many more platforms, you're exposed to much more content, and you need information about that content. I mean, what is the content all about? Is that something that I'm interested in? And I think here, we have to provide the information, I mean, about this content, I mean, the plot, I mean, the cast, the director, many of those informations, but then also connect, I mean, user behavior, user consumption patterns with a level of recommendation and discoverability.
Yes.
And I think that is something that I think we're really looking forward to explore. I mean, now, I mean, Ericsson Broadcast and Media Services has probably, I mean, one of the largest catalogs of metadata in the industry.
Right.
And I think has a lot of interesting, I mean, technology to support, I mean, content discovery.
So who do you see as your customers in all of this?
I think, I mean, we are looking forward to work with, I mean, broadcasters, content owners, but also, I mean, TV provider, TV operators. I mean, in obviously telecommunication companies, our traditional customers. All players in this area. I mean, today I think we're very proud, because we have a very broad set of customers. I mean, we're dealing with, I mean, large public service broadcasters in several European countries. We work with, I mean, the largest, I mean, private broadcasters in those markets where we're working. But we also work with new companies starting up and, I mean, trying to experiment. I mean, we work together with, I mean, HBO in Scandinavia to deliver, I mean, an end customer proposition. So I think it's a very exciting place.
Right. So where do you see the near future going for Ericsson in this?
I think the future is very bright. I mean, I think we have now a great set of capabilities. I think we are getting a scale which is very important, and I think we now, I mean, we're really interested in exploring, I mean, the growth of the business. I mean, with the enhanced capabilities that Redkey provides us to deliver very much an end-to-end service to our customer in a compelling one.
Yeah. Well, Thorsten, on that, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you very much for joining Decoding the New Economy.